change the color. Let's say it's something like dark one. I personally like this dark color. I like to keep it here. And let's say this typography, I like to change a little bit. Let's say 60 pixel of this. And for line height, I like to keep it EM, and it's going to be 1.2, and font will be uppercase. Okay, so as you can see, but it's not look like same, but no worries, I will make it same. So now we just need to add a button. So let's simply add here this button, just drag and drop here inside of this container that we recently take. And I like to make it here the center, and we need to change this text. So let's say it's get started, and for this link I like to add here, let's say contact page. So let's say contact. That means if you just type here slash, then if you type the page name, and if you hover in there, then as you can see, when someone just gonna be click on this link, they will be direct on this URL. Okay, if you see this left side bottom, then you will get to see. Alright, so now let's go back again here, this style, and for this style I like to change this font a little bit. So let's say I like to change this font size into 16 pixel, and it will be, let's say 600 like semi bold. And for this line height, I personally like to 1.4 EM. So here is the EM, simply just type EM. Let's click on here again. And now if you see here that it's have a border radius, so let's add here at least 5 pixel border radius, and let's go here this padding, let's unlink it. And now this is mainly the custom value of this pattern. So let's say it's a 17 pixel, simply just type 17 pixel, then it will be 35 as you can see. And since right is 35, obviously left will be the same 35. And for this bottom I like to keep, let's say 13 pixel, so like this. And for the color I like to go with the blue, so let's say it's simply blue. As you can see now it's blue, but when someone just gonna be hover it, I like to change the background color, so it's something, let's say this one. So when I'm just gonna hover it, as you can see this color is now changed. Alright, so now in here we need to fix this container, I mean this text. To do that we just need to go here this container. That means if I go here this navigator, then you'll get to see that means I'm not in the parent container, I'm right now in child container, as you can see. So now if I just go here, if I just see here this width, I need to make it 790, as you can see, then I will get exactly like this. So now this portion is almost ready to go. So now we need to work with the background elements. So to do that, we just need to simply add here this image, not exactly on here this inside of this container. We're just going to drag into outside of this container, let's say like this. Okay, let's again drag and drop here, but I personally not like to add here inside of this container. So as you can see, these images come into inside this container, that means our child container, but I personally don't want. So let's simply drag into the top, and now I'm just going to just take this container into the top, then this image will be come into here, as you can see. So to change here this image name, you just need to click on double click on here. Now you could say here this, let's say 2 only. I just type 2, as you can see now it changed. So let's click on here this choose image, and now let's go to media library, and now I need to choose here number 2 image, and here let's select it. So this is mainly the number 2 image. So now you might be thinking that where I will get these images or background elements. So don't worry about that. Please check our video description like jimfahaddigital.com. Then you will be direct on this page, and here you will get to see all the CSS code, and also obviously here are these images. So if you click on here, download the images that I have used in this tutorial, so you will get all the images. Okay, and here is also the CSS code. All right, so let's move. All right, so now let's go here this style, I mean this style. So in here I need to change here this max width. So personally I like to go with 24, so it looks like really big, or let's say 22, or let's change here into percent to pixel. So let's say it's 22 pixel right now, but it's look like okay, so now it's 22. I like to make it 22, so 22 pixel, it's look like this. So I think it's perfect. This is mainly the max width. Okay, let's go here this advanced tab. All right, so now in here we need to select this position into absolute. So when you do the absolute, as you can see, our elements going to the top and left side. So let me show you the offset first of all. So if you see this horizontal orientation, if you see here this offset, then now you can do the changes. As you can see, wherever you like to position or you like to show this element on your design. And this is mainly the vertical. As you can see, this is the vertical. You can set the position. Also, if you like to do it, let's say you directly like to go with the right side, you can simply do it. Or let's say you like to go with this bottom, you can do it from here. Just simply click on this button. Or also you can just go with this. Okay. So that means first of all, choose the absolute. Then where you like to show these elements. For example, I like to go this left side, choose left side. And where is it? It's like bottom or top. I want to show them in top. So I select the top. And now I need to rearrange it. So in here I have a percentage EM pixel. So I'm choosing percent right now. And let's say it's 3%. And here will be the 8%. So yeah, now this is the look, as you can see. So now let's move into the next element. So simply just click on mouse right button and then you'll get to see the option called duplicate. Simply click on duplicate. That means we are not going to do it from scratch. Okay. All right. So now let's change the image. First of all, let's click on choose image. And now we need to choose here number 4. This is number 3 and this is number 4. So let's select number 4 and let's click on select this button. So as you can see, we get a different elements or, something like icon, you can say. So in this left side top, because we just duplicated. Okay. So what you need to do right now, we need to do a little bit customization in here. So let's go back to this advanced tab again. And since already have this absolute, so we need to do changes in here. So only change here that is offset. So let's change it to 8. As you can see, now it's coming on to here. And if you're just going to select it right, and as you can see, we get the same element on the right side, and now it's on the top, as you can see. How cool is that, right? So let's change here this name into, let's say 4. And also we need to do one thing, that is about we need to put here the CSS class, because if you see here this original design that have an animation. So for this animation, we need to write a little bit code. So that's why we need to add a CSS code. So let me first of all copy here the CSS code. So when you're just going to copy it, you don't need to copy here this dot, only copy the name. Okay, not the dot. So let's go back and let's go to the number 2. And let's come here this CSS classes and just add here this code. And let's go to the number 4 and again scroll down. Then you'll get to see the option called CSS classes. And now let's simply add here into the 4. And for it's not going to be pixel, it's obviously going to be our percent. Okay, it's not going to be pixel. Okay, so I add here this code and let's duplicate again here. All right, so we get another one. Let's go with number 3, this one. So let's select it. And now let's go back to here, this advanced. And obviously it will be the right. Okay, so what we need to do, we just need to go to this bottom. Select simply the bottom. And now in here, we need to do the changes. Let's select the percent tense. And now let's say it's going to be 5. And it's also going to be 5. All right, so now as you can see, we get this icon in here. So it looks perfect. And also we need to change the CSS class into 3. That means this is number 3, right? This is the image number 3. So let's change this to 3. And let's go here this style and we need to make this width will be 100%. So as you can see now it's something. So let's make it 100%. Just make it 100% this image with like this number 3. All right, so now let's again duplicate. So this will be our number 5. So let's click on this image and let's select here number 5, this one. Let's select it. And now we need to go here this advanced tab and let's scroll down. And we need to make them like into top and the left side. That means it will be available on here, as you can see. And now we need to change this offset into 2. And obviously it's need to be changed. Let's say it's 65. Let's see how it's look like. Yeah, it looks perfect. All right, so number 5 is almost ready. So let's again duplicate it and let's go in number 7 and let's change here this image into, let's say this one. Let's select it. All right, so as you can see, this image is showing on here. Okay, let's go to the style. And in here, I don't need to add any kind of width, right? So let's simply, I like to go with like 100%. Let's say max width will be 100%. Or is it possible to type auto? So let's say auto, just type auto. Yep. obviously now it's auto. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so we need to do a little bit, we just need to reduce this opacity. So let's say the opacity will be 0.3. okay, just put here in a point, then it will be like look like this. Okay, let's go to this advanced tab and let's go here, let's say left, and on here I like to make it 0, then it will be the center. So let's say select a pixel, but it still look like the same. All right, so let's say this will be 10%. Let's see how it's look like. This is mainly the 10%, but it still looks same. So let's go with 35, and let's go here, and to this percent will be, let's say 10. All right, so now I think it looks fine, not bad. Something, as you can see now, it's looks fine. So on here, this value keep it 10% and 35% on this number 7, that you will get the same result. All right, so now again duplicate it, and let's say this is number 8, and go here and let's select here number 8. All right, so now as you can see we get the same thing, and the opacity will be the same. Since we duplicate number 7, so we get the same thing, we get the same height and width, we get the same opacity, and we get the same all the values. So we need to change this advanced tab. So let's make them. Okay, so for the number 8, you will get to see there like your 2 changes, but you cannot make it center, right? So what you need to do, you just need to make it like this position will be default, and then you just need to simply go with this absolute, then it will be automatically go to the top. And as you can see for this value, I was type here auto before. When I just duplicate the number 7, I was like type auto, and then I just change this position into default, then I come back again this absolute, and now as you can see it's going to this top. Okay, all right, so now let's move into the next. It's like number 9, so I'm just going to duplicate it from here simply, and now let's go with choose image, and let's say number 9, let's select it, and let's go with this tile, and it will be the same 0.3 will be the opacity. And for the width, I like to go with 40 pixel. So let's say it's 40. So as you can see, this is look like percentage. So let's make it pixel, and let's say with 40, like this. As you can see, let's go to the advanced. And now in here, as you can see, this is left and this is right. So I'm just going to keep it left. And now I need to change here. Let's say it's a percentage. So let's say 10%, let's say. Okay, so now when I type 10, as you can see, you get to see like this. So I'm just typing 10.74%. And for this, like the vertical one, I like to keep it 8.874 like this. So as you can see, we'll get like this output. And now let's go into the next. It's like number 10. So we need to change it to number 9, and it will be number 10. And now let's go here, and now let's take a number 10, and now let's go into this tile. But for this tile, I like to go with full, there is no opacity, I think. So let's keep it like this, and let's go. So for this width, I like to keep it auto. So simply just on this 30, we just need to type simply auto, then you will get the exactly as it is, that is on the image. Okay, so you will get exactly the same to same. So let's go here, this advanced tab, and now in here we need to do a little bit of work. So let's say for this left side, I like to go with 75%, and for this bottom one, I like to go, let's say 40. As you can see, we get like this. All right, so this is the preview of that we create right now, but if you see carefully that this is not the final thing, so we need to add another image in here. All right, so to do that, we just need to simply add here, just add another image under this text, as you can see, and this image is automatically added on this container, but I don't really want, right? So let me go to the top again of this, and now let's simply select here the image, and let's take it to the bottom simply. As you can see, we get the same image on here. Let's say choose the image, and now let me go to the folder. So we need to add here this banner 2 image, this one. So let's simply add here, open. Now let's select here, and as you can see, we get exactly same as it is that you see on our beginning, beginning you get to see. So let's see the preview. As you can see, this is the preview, but we just need to add here a little bit of spacing in here, right? So for these, I think we can simply add here a bottom, let's say margin bottom. So let's go here, this container, let's go to advanced, and now let's align it. And for this bottom, I like to go with 70 pixel, let's say. So now let's see the preview, how it's look like. Yep, now it looks good. And also I think we need to add here a little bit padding on this parent container, because if you see carefully that on this top have no space and all this bottom it's also don't have. So let's go with this parent container. That means I'm not choosing the child container. This is called child container and this is called parent container. So I'm going with this parent container, and let's go with this advanced and let's align it. For this top, I like to go with, okay, so here's the padding we need. So for this top, I like to go with, let's say 170 pixel. And for the right, I like to go with 30 pixel. And for this left, I like to go with this 30 pixel again. And now let's see the preview. Looks cool, right? And on here, if you see carefully that number 8, we just need to do a little bit changes on here. So let's select here number 8 and let's go here this absolute. And now let's say this offset will be 9.9. Let's say how it's look like. So I'm not going to be changing anything on this horizontal. I like to change here this vertical. So let's say the vertical is like 5, only the 5%. Then as you can see, it's going to the top, as you can see. So that means on this number 8, you don't need to change this horizontal. You just need to do changes on vertical. Okay, so I kept it number 8. And one thing, if you see carefully, that we forget to add here the CSS class. So this is number 3. Let me go with this number 5. Let's go there. All right, so this is still have a 3. So let's make it 5. And let's 7. So let's go here and let's change into 7. And let's go to the number 8. Scroll down and we need to change it to 8. And for the 9, let's go advanced. And we need to change it to, let's say 9. And for the 10, let's go advanced and let's change it to 10. Otherwise the CSS code will be not work. So okay, so let's simply update here this thing that we do all the changes right now. So let's update it. And now let's come here our front end and let's reload here this page. And as you can see, we get exactly same as it is. And now let's click on here this customize this button. Simply just click on there. And now let's go here this additional CSS. You will get the option on this bottom. Just click on there. And now in CSS, we just need to do a little bit thing. Simply, as you can see, we just need to copy it. So let's copy here from the beginning. Let's say like this. So I'm simply just copying it, and I'm just going to be pasting down here. Simply I just paste it. And also you just need to type here and a comment, because it's easy to understand, you know, when someone, another developer, he just going to see it, he can easily understand it. So I just type like this, you can follow. Okay, this is mainly the hero section, so I type it. And also we need to add here this animation one. So let's copy here this for this animation. So I'm just going to be copying here this code. So let's copy and let's scroll down and let's simply add it here. So as you can see, we get instantly of this animation on here, right? So let me type here in a comment. So let's say this is hero animation, because it will be, you know, easily understand. Anyone can easily understand. This is mainly for hero animation. As you can see, now it really looks cool, right? All right, so let's click on here this publish button to save the changes, and let's go back again here this editing page. Now let's move to our next section called services section. So it's super duper easy. Let me show you how we can do it. So what you can do, you can simply just take a simple container from here. Just what I do, I just click on here this plus icon and I select this one. Okay, so as you can see, we get in a container right here. And on this container, I like to take another container. So what I need to do, I just need to simply drag and drop here this container inside of this container. And now I just need to do a little bit copy paste. How it did? So simply copy here this title, and I'm just going to be paste it here. And again, I'm just copying it, and let's paste it, because I don't want to do it from scratch. So now simply change here this title. So let's say this is our featured services, and let's go hit this style, and I like to do changes on here. Something, let's say for the typography, I like to go with 40 pixel, as you can see. And for this line height, we can keep with 1.2, or if you like to go with 1.4, it's okay. But I think this 1.2, it's okay. Okay, so let's move into our next. It's mainly our description. So let's click in here and let's simply drag and drop here this text editor, this widget, and here inside of this container, as you can see, we get it. So now simply just click on text and select all of them and just type your own text in here. Text, and let's go here this style, and I just like to make it center, so everything will be center. Now let's click on here this edit widget, this button, and now I just need to choose here this size. Okay, so for example, right now I like to go with this box size, let's say 600. Then it will get exactly like this. And also let's go with this main one, like this parent container. Let's go here this advanced tab, and let's add here a little bit padding. Let's say for this padding top it will be 100 pixel, and for this left side will be 30, and right side, left side will be 30, and for this bottom I like to go with 70. All right, so now as you can see, we get like this. All right, so now we just need to do one thing, that is we need to drag and drop here some more containers. So let's say I add another container, but it's automatically take inside of this child container, so I don't want to make it. So let's simply just, okay, so what I need to do, I just need to just simply drag here on the top. As you can see, now it's the top, and now let's collapse it, and let's simply drag and drop here this bottom. As you can see, we get it. And now what we need to do, we just need to change here this width to full width, and the percentage will be, let's say 33.33, like this amount, and let's simply just duplicate it 3 times. That means we have a 3 empty in here, and this is our content one, like this title one. So for this, we just need to go to this parent container, just click on there, and now let's go hit this layout, and now in here we need to enable this wrap option. Simply click on this wrap. Then as you can see, we get exactly like something, right? Okay, so now let's start work with our first one. So let's click on here again, and let's simply add here another container inside of this container. That means this is the parent, this is the child, and with this child we need another container inside of this. So here is this child container. I like to change a little bit. Let's say for this padding, I like to go with right side will be 50 pixel, and the left side will be 50 pixel. All right, so now it looks perfect. And now in here we need to add an image. Simply add here an image, and now let's add here a title with this container. As you can see, just make sure you just notice here this navigator, because as you can see, we are not directly adding these things onto our child. It's going to the child. Okay, so let's add here a little bit description. So we already have a description, so we're not going to do it. Let's paste. And now we need a button, so we already have a button, so we are not going to do it from scratch again. So let's copy, paste. All right, so now we just need to do a little bit customization. Also, let's copy and let's paste here the style. All right, so we get everything in here, but we need to do a little bit customization. So first of all, let's change here this image. So let's click on image and let's go here, and we need to upload here the image. So mainly we need this image, so let's upload here simply, and let's select it. All right, so it's look like it's really big, right? Let's go here this style, and now let's change here this max width into, let's say, a pixel, and let's say 55 pixel will be the max width, as you can see. And for this text, I like to make it A3, and let's go here this style, and let's click on here this typography, and I like to change it, let's say 24 pixel of this content, and let's say it's a 700, and let's say it's gonna be, let's say, pixel. Let's say it's 29 pixel. So my line height is 29 pixel right now. And let's go here this P tag, and let's go style, and let's go here this typography, and let's say the line height will be 29 pixel. And for this button, let's click on here this text, this button, and let's go with this style. And for this here, I like to add here solid and 1 pixel width I like to add. And for the color, I like to go with blue, as you can see. And for this background color, I don't really want it. I like to keep it as it is. So let's say for the background, I like to just make it default, or let's say just reduce it. So I'm just going to reduce it to, as you can see, just this thing just drag into here the left. All right, so now let's click on here this text and let's select here blue. All right, so as you can see, we get exactly same to same, but we need to do a little bit changes on here this padding. So let's say we need to keep it 14 pixel for the top, and for this bottom we like to make it 10. All right, so as you can see, we get now similar. And now for the hover, I like to change the color. So I like to go with, let's say, like the blue color, but the text will be, let's say, white. So I'm just going to be typing here white, but for the color I like to go with blue. So let's hover. As you can see, it's now changed. All right, so what do we need to do right now? We need to go with this here, this child container. As you can see, this one, let's go with this advanced, and we need to add a little bit padding. Let's say for the top, I like to go with 35 pixel padding. Okay, so it's not 300, only 35. And for this bottom, I like to go with 35 also. And for here, I like to go with 24. For the left side, I like to go with 25 pixel left and right. And for the bottom, it will be 35. As you can see, now we get exactly like this look, as you can see. And now we just need to add a little bit simple and a margin bottom. So let's say for this bottom, just unlink it first, and let's add a 30 pixel for the bottom. So then it will get exactly like this. And also we need to change here this background color. So let's go here this background color, and let's click on here this classic, and now click on here this color, and let's make it something red, but we are not going to make it red. So let's change it to, let's say, F9. Okay, so let's space F9 and F9. So let me just simply paste it. So okay, so it will be like F9 then FC, then it will get exactly like this color. So for this child container, we need to change this align item into stretch, and also we need to go here this advanced, and we need to add here a CSS code. So if you check our website jimfahaddigital.com, then if you scroll down, then you'll get to see here called box item hover effect. So I'm just going to simply copy here this class code, simply copy it, and let's come here and let's simply add it down here. And now let's click on update this button. So also I'm just going to copy here all of this code, and let's go here this customization page, and let's go additional CSS, scroll down, and now go to the last and press enter and Control V. That means I copy here this code, and also I just paste it on here. Okay, paste it. All right, so now if you go here, as you can see, when I'm just going to hover it, as you can see, now it's changed. So let me add here a comment. So let's say this will be our comment. So this is mainly our comment, so I type here, and this is the effect, but it's not really exactly what you're looking for, right? Okay, so now let's finding out that where you mainly getting problems. So let's say when you're just hovering, it works really fine, but it's not changing this background color, also not changing here our like this. If you see here this button color, it's also not changing, right? So let's see again. As you can see, it's going to white, but it's not changing. So let's go back again. Let's simply, first of all, let's click on here this child container, and let's go here this tile, and let's go here this hover, and let's select here this background color. Let's say it will be like a white. So I'm just going to select it a white, and now let's see how it's look like. Simply update it, and let's go back to our website and reload here this page. And now let's hover. As you can see, the background color is now changed, but still have a little bit issue on here our like this button, right? For fixing this simple issue, we just need to go back again jimfahaddigital.com, and if you scroll down, then you'll get to see an option called service section, right? And here have a simple CSS code. So simply copy here this code, and let's go back to again our additional CSS page. And now in here, I'm just going to paste here the code, and also I like to type here a little bit like a comment. So let's say I'm just copy and paste here the comment, and let's go back again. Let's copy here this text from here, and I'm just going to simply paste it. All right, so now this is mainly for service section like this one. So this is, so we can easily understand mainly which one for what. Okay, so let's simply publish it, and let's go back again Elementor, and let's reload here this page again from here, the top. And as you can see, our problem is still it's not gone. So what we need to do, we just need to go again this child, this container. Let me open this navigator. And now we just need to go to this advanced, and now we need to add here this CSS, like the CSS class in here, because right now, as you can see, we already added the code into additional CSS. But one thing we didn't do, that is like we didn't add here the CSS class inside of here. So what you need to do, I just need to go to the last and press a space. Okay, take a space and then enter. So let me copy here this full classes. Then the class will be something like this. As you can see, this is merely single featured box and this is merely featured box services. So the class will be like this. So now, as you can see, when I'm just gonna hover it, as you can see, now it's applied. So let me update it. That means our problem is almost fixed. So let's go here in these welcome these to this font, this one, and let's go here this advanced one, and let's simply just unlink the value and let's add an a bottom. Let's say 30 pixel from the bottom. So I add 30 pixel here and margin in this bottom. All right, so now we just need to work on like rest of these boxes like email marketing and website optimization. So what I need to do, I just need to simply copy and paste. So already we have created these two, so I don't really need them. So let me delete. And now let me simply just duplicate. Again, I need to duplicate it. As you can see, I duplicated 3 times. So we get 3 of here. But the problem is here, that is we get 2 of the first and then the last one is going to this bottom. So I don't really want like this. I like to get something that is, this will be on, like this one will be like a full width or 600 width they will take, and 3 up will be together. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to go with this container and then to go to here this layout. This is mainly the parent container, and let's here this gap between just make it 0. So when you make 0, then you will get to see all of them in together like this, as you can see. And if you see here this line here, this gap, I think it's look like very little. So let's increase it. Let's go again here this container, let's go here 32, let's say make it 55, and let's now I think now it looks a little bit more better. Yeah, looks cool, right? So now let's update here this content. Before do that, if you see carefully our main design, then it's also have another elements into that is totally fixed. As you can see, it's totally fixed. So we also need to work on these elements. So let's go back again, and now let's go to the parent, and now we need to go with this style, and let's click on here this background type, and let's choose an image, and now upload image and select the file. So here we need to finding out shape hovering 1:1. Just simply open it, simply select it, and now we need to do a little bit changes in here. As you can see, now we get to see something like this, and it really looks good, but not exactly. Okay, so let's position will be, let's say, center right, like it will be center right, and repeat, no repeat, and display will be, let's say, default, and here this attachment will be fixed. So now as you can see, when I'm not set up anything, it's default. As you can see, it's not fixed. So when I'm just going to set it fixed, as you can see, then it will be not, it will be look like the fixed, as you can see. But I'm just going on the section, it's totally fixed, as you can see. Okay, so you can do the changes a little bit in here, and you can see this thing that what mainly happening if you just go with this default one, what mainly happening if you're just going to change this position, what happening. So you can play around it. Okay, all right, so now let's simply click on here this update button to update all of these changes. And now the main part is here, that is we just need to change here this content. So let me change the content. So let's simply change here this content into, let's say, our services. And also we need to change here this one. Let's say this will be our marketing analysis, and these button text will be, let's say, read more. And we also need to change all of this content. So let's say it will be read more, and it will be also read more. Go to the next one. Let's change this content into, let's say, email marketing. Let's click on here this image, and let's choose here email marketing image. So let's select the file, and let's finding out here. So I like to add here this one. So simply just open it, and let's select it. And we also need to change here the description. So let's click on here this pen icon, and let's come here this text, and let's simply select and change here this content. So you can simply type here the content also. I'm just doing copy and paste, but you can simply just type whatever you need. It will be changed instantly. Let's go to the next one, and also let's click on here this pen icon. Let's go to the text, and let's simply click on Control A and Control V. Then the content will be changed. And also we need to change here this heading. So simply just type here website optimization, and let's click on here this image, and let's choose here. And I'm just going to choose here this image, as you can see. So now let's simply click on here this update this button. So now if you see here this preview, just click on here this arrow, then you will get to see that what you make right now, as you can see. So now let's move into our about us section. So to design this section, we just need to simply click on plus and then simply select on this one, this container. All right, so now as you can see, we took in a container. So inside of this container, we need to take more to container. So simply add one, and again, we can simply just duplicate it. So as you can see, we get two container in here. So for this left one, for example, let's say I like to make it full width, but for this width, I like to make it 50%. And for the another one, I like to do the same. So let me just delete and let's simply just duplicate it. And as you can see, we get the same. And for this main container, if you go with this parent container, then it's have a gap between 20 pixels. So I like to make it 0. And inside of this container, I like to add here an image. So simply just drag and drop here image widget and choose the image, click on upload and select the image. And we need to just add here about img 111 this one. So let's open it and let's select here this image. As you can see, we exactly get like this. And now we need to work on this left side. So as you already know that we are not going to do it from scratch. So we are obviously doing copy paste. So let's copy and paste and let's change the element into left. And again here, copy this title and let's simply paste it and make it a left. And also we need a description. So let's simply copy and let's paste it. And also let's make it a left side. So as you can see, everything is look like almost like together, right? So we just need to do a little bit simple thing. Let's go here, this container, not exactly the parent one. As you can see, let me go. Okay, this one. Let's go here with this advanced tab and let's unlink this padding. Let's say for this right side, I like to add 15 pixel. And for this left side, I like to add 15 pixel padding. Okay. And let's go to the next container. And in here, I like to go with this advanced. And now let's for this margin, I like to add a 50 pixel from the top, as you can see. And for this padding, I like to add, let's say for this right, it's need to be 40. And for this left, I like to go with 30. Like this, as you can see. And now we can simply just copy and paste the content, or you can do the customization of this content. So let's click on here, this pen icon. And let's say our services to about us. And also let's click on our feature services and change here this to, let's say we are Digital Explorer. And now let's move to the next and let's click on content and let's go to the text and simply just paste here this content or just type whatever you like. All right, so now we just need to do a little bit customization. Let's go here this title, let's go here this style, let's go to typography and let's say for 35 pixel of the heading like this one. And it really looks fine. If you see that it looks fine, not bad something. And let's go to the next and let's go here this style and let's go to the typography. That means I'm talking about the p tag, like this paragraph one. And in here I like to change this, let's say it's gonna be 16 pixel. And for this line height I like to go with, let's say 1.8 em. And now let's go to the advanced and now let's say here just unlink it and let's say the bottom will be 25. And on this advanced, I'm just going to take here this margin 25 pixel because we are just going to add here some more item inside of here, I mean on this bottom. So let's go back again and let's simply add here another container on under this paragraph. As you can see, we get it. And this container will be our main container. So let's say this is our main. And now let's say again go here and let's simply again add here another container. And with this container I like to change this into full width and for it will be like 50%. And let's again just duplicate it and let's go with this main and let's change this column into horizontal. So now as you can see, it's now changed. Okay. All right, so now let's go back again and let's search here icon. And we just need this one icon box. Simply drag and drop here the icon box. And we need to change here this position, icon position into left. As you can see, now it's changed into left. And now we don't really need any kind of paragraph. So I'm just removing it. And for this icon, I like to go with, let's say check. So I like this one. So let's say insert it. As you can see, now it's added. And now we need to do a little bit customization in here. So let's say it's need to change the view. Let's say I like to go with stack, and then the shape will be, let's say, square. If you see carefully that we are using a square, so let's add a square. And let's go here, the style. On the style, let's say the primary color into blue. So simply just make it blue. And for the secondary color, I like to go with white. So let's say a white. And for the spacing, I like to go with a 10. Let's say a 10. All right, so this is the 10. And now let's say the size will be, let's say, 13 pixel. And for the padding, I like to go only the 6. And for this border radius, I like to go with 3. Okay, just simply type here 3. All right, looks cool. And now let's move to the content. Just go to content. And for the typography, I like to change it to, let's say, I like to go with a 16 pixel. So let's say 16 pixel. And for, let's say, semi bold. And yep, looks fine. And we need to change this color into, let's say, I like to go with this color, dark one. And in here, we need to do one thing, that is go here, this advanced tab. So we also need to change this content vertical align to, let's say, this one, like this middle one. And let's then go to advanced. For the margin, I don't really need any kind of margin, so I'm just going to make it 0. And for this padding, I'm just going to unlink it fast. And now let's say for this top, I like to go with 8. And for this bottom, I also like to go with 8. And for this right, I like to go 12 pixel. And for this left, I like to go with 12 pixel, as you can see. Now I think we just need to change this color. So let's go to style. So yeah, there is no background color. So let's go to the advanced. And let's go to here, this background tab. And now if you click on here, this background tab to classic, then you will get to color option. Simply just type here, just click on here. Then now we can do the changes of this color. So in here, just type this color code, F8, F8FF, then you will get exactly like this. And now let's click on here, this child, this child container. And let's go to the advanced. And now in here, I like to add here in a padding. So let's unlink it. And let's say on this right side, I like to add 10 pixel. So let's see how it's look like. So as you can see, I add 10 pixel on this right side, as you can see. And it's look like this left side have a little bit of space. So let me change this content first. Let's see how it's look like. So let me change this content to this, let's say this one. All right, so now it's look like a little bit bigger, as you can see. All right, so we just need to go to this parent one, I mean this main one. And now we need to gap between, let's make it 0. On here, this gap between, make it 0, then you will get in one line, okay? And now let's go here. And what you can do, you can just simply just do copy and paste. Let's say duplicate. And let's duplicate another one. As you can see, it's automatically getting in here. So now let's click on here, this child container. And let's go to this layout. And now let's make it 15 pixel gap between of one element to another element. So now you're thinking, before I make it 0 and now I just make it 15 pixel, where is it? Why I change this, make it 0? So it is mainly on this main one. So I do the changes on the main one, and now I do the changes on this container one. Okay, so now let's simply click on here, copy, and let's paste here this box, and we get again same to same. Let's duplicate, and let's duplicate it again. And now let's click on another container. And now let's change this gap between to 15 pixel. And as you can see, we get exactly same as it is. But on this container, I like to go with this advanced tab, unlink it, and let's say add here 10 pixel on this left. Like if you see 10 pixel on this padding this left, then you will get exactly look like this. As you can see, you will get exactly. And now we just need to click on here, this another container, and this is main container. Then with this container, we're talking about the right side. And now let's go with this advanced, and let's unlink it, and let's simply add here 10 pixel on this left side, as you can see. So the first one, we add 10 pixel onto this right side, right? And for this one, we just add 10 pixel onto the left side. Okay, now let's see the preview, how it look like. As you can see, this is the final look that we make right now. But if you see carefully, that it's look like a little bit much space, and also here we have a much space. So to reduce this spacing that we get to see in here, so we need to go with this container, this one. So because all of this content are inside of this container, so I'll just click on this container, and let's go to the layout, and let's make this gap between into 0. So as you can see, we now exactly get like this. As you can see, now it's look like this. So this portion looks very clear, but I think we need to add here a little bit line height on this We Digital Explorer. I think then it will be fixed. So let's go here, let's click on We Digital Explorer, let's click on typography, and let's go here this line height. And for here I like to go with this pixel, and let's say 42 pixel in here, but it still looks same. So what you can do, you can go with this about us, this text, and let's go to the advanced, and let's say add here a margin. Let's only get let's say 8 pixel bottom margin. How it's look like right now, looks fine, but I think we could add here a little bit, just a little bit margin on here. It will be better. So let's go here on this paragraph, and let's say add here like 5 or 8 pixel for this top. Now I think looks fine. Okay, now let's simply click on here this update button to save all the changes. And now let me just update here all the content. So as you can see, I already added all of this content here. So I just changed the content, that's it. Okay, and let's see the preview, how it's look like. As you can see now, it really looks like fine. But if I go with my preview website, then you will get to see like it's something. As you can see, when I'm just gonna hover it, I get a different color on this background. But in my case, if you go here, then when I'm just going to hover it, I'm not going to see any changes in there. So let's solve it. For solving it, we just need to do two things. Number one, we just need to come here, digital EX section, about page. So simply just copy here this class code, and let's go back to Elementor, and let's click on each of these icons. So let's click on here this pen icon, let's go to the advanced, and let's simply go here this class. Simply just type here this class, go the next advanced, and paste here that class, go again the next advanced, and just type here this class. So and let's go to the next, and let's add here these. And now what do we just need to do, we just need to click on here this update button, and let's go back to our CSS, additional CSS page again. And now what you need to do, we just need to simply copy and paste this thing. Okay, simply copy here this CSS code. Let's go back again, and let's simply paste here. And also I like to add here a comment. So let's simply just paste here this comment. And also let's change here these text. I like to add here like this text. And now let's click on this publish button, and let's go back Elementor page again, and let's reload here this page. So now if you see the preview, as you can see, it's changed this font text and also this icon color, but it's not changing this background color. So let's fix it. Let's click on here this arrow, and let's go here into this background. Come here this advanced tab, just click on here this icon, come here this advanced tab, then go here this background. Can you remember that we was put a background color in here? And now let's go to the hover. That means when someone is going to hover it. So let's change this background color, let's say into blue. All right, let's click on arrow. So when I'm just gonna hover it, as you can see now it's totally changed. Okay. All right, so as you can see, now it's changed. So what you need to do, we just need to add here the same color. So let's go advanced, and let's simply go here this background. Let's go to this hover and add this classic. Click on here this classic, then change here this background color. So when someone just gonna hover it, it's gonna be applied. Okay. So to do the copy paste, what you can do, you can simply just copy it. Simply just click mouse right button and copy, and simply just paste here this paste as style. Also just paste as style, and also just paste this style. Now when it's going to hover it, as you can see, everything is changed. As you can see, everyone is changed right now. So let's click on here this update button, and let's go back to our website again and reload here this page. And as you can see, it really works fine. And this one is also really work fine. Now let's move to the next section. And if you see carefully that like this section is almost matched with our services section. So what you can do, we can simply copy and paste, right? So let's go back again here, and let's simply select here this section, click mouse right button and copy it, and scroll down, and let's paste it. Okay. So as you can see, now we get exactly same to same. So now we'd like to change here this background color. So let's click on edit section, and let's go here this style, and now let's click on here this color. As you can see already, it's selected. This background tab is classic. So click on color, and for this color, just simply type here F4, F7, C. Okay, then you will get exactly like same color. And now let's come here this container on this box, like this card. It's mainly called card. So now what you need to do, we need to change here this align items into center. Then all of these things you will get into center. And for this content, to make it center, I mean this left side, click on this pen icon, go with this style, and let's click on here this alignment into left. Then it will be come into a left. And now again click on here this container, and let's go with this advanced. And now in here we need to change this padding. So let's say the padding is almost 40 pixel, and since this top is 40, so let's make this bottom will be 40, and let's say this right will be 30, and for this left will be 30. And now we need to change here this image also. Let's click on here this pen icon, and let's go choose image this button. And now we need to upload here the image. So as you can see, I already uploaded all the icons, I mean all the images in here. So now I'm just going to select here this one, like this one, digital marketing, this one, and let's simply select it. As you can see, we get exactly same to same. And now let's click on here this heading one, and let's go with this style, and let's go with this typography. And now in here, everything looks really fine. So I'm just going to change this line heading to 30. But almost looks really fine if you see carefully. But we need to update here these read mode, this button. So click on here this pen, like the pen icon. And now we just need to add here just one icon. So to add any icon, we just need to click on here icon library, this button. And now in here you need to search. So let's say search here, let's say arrow, simply search arrow. Then we need to just add here this arrow, simply select this arrow, and let's say insert it. And as you can see, we get exactly same to same. And now let's say this icon position is after, and as you can see, we get same. So let's also go here style, and for this padding, I like to make them everything 0. So let's make them 0. And now I like to change here this border type. Let's say the border type is none. So as you can see, now it still looks clean. As you can see, it still looks clean, but I also don't need here this hover color also. So let's go this hover, and let's say the color, it's, let's say clear it. And also here, everything, I think now, okay. So let me go here, this edit container, just go there. And as you can see, it's also, if you see carefully, that we just added 2 classes. So let me see, one class is like for single featured box, and another is like featured box services. So I only like to keep this one. So simply just paste it. That means right now I only kept single featured box, and I also delete here featured box services. I delete this one. So now it's look like, as you can see, it's now changing this color also. Bar and pen icon, and let's remove here this bar radius into 0. And let's make everything 0. So click on link value, I'll make them everything 0. Then we'll get like everything on 0. Okay. So now let's click on this update button. And now I just to come here jimfahaddigital.com website again, and let's copy here this code, like what we do sections. Just copy the CSS code, and let's come back again here this CSS page. And now let's simply add here this code, and I like to add here a simple comment also. So I added here a comment. So as you can see, and now from here I like to copy this class code featured box. I'm not going to be copying here this dot or like this one. I'm only copying here from featured box, this one. So now again click on here this container, this child container. As you can see right now, let me open here this navigator that you will understand more better. So as you can see, this one I'm only just selected, and for the single featured box I like to add here another class. It's mainly this one, like featured box, this one. So as you can see, I already added it, and let me make it publish. And also I like to go here and let's update it. But also one thing we need to do, that is let's go here this style, and let's go with this hover, and for this hover color I like to make it blue. Okay, so as you can see, now it's almost changed. Okay, so let me update here. Simply click on update this button. So if I reload here this page, and if I scroll down, then you will get to see here that if I hover it, everything is changed, but it's not, this paragraph is not changing. To figure out this, what we need to do, we need to go here this widget again, and let's simply drag and drop here and a text editor. As you can see, now it really works fine. And now again, I'm just simply going to copy it, and let's simply paste here. As you can see, we get same to same, and I'm just going to delete it. And again, I'm just pasting out here. So how I'm just pasting it, I'm just click on here this text and simply paste. Then I get 2 of here. So let me delete here this previous one. So as you can see, now it's almost done. Okay, so we also need to change here this content and also the images. Now let me show you that how we can do it. Let's say, for example, I like to change here this content. So click on here this pen icon. And let's say I like to change it to something, let's say what to do this. So as you can see, now it's changed. Now let's also change here our feature services, this one. So as you can see, now it's also changed. And also we don't really need this description. So let's simply delete it. As you can see, now it's delete. And on this marketing analysis, I like to change here this text. So simply click on here this text button. And now in here, you can simply change here this text. Okay. Now let's go here this email marketing. Simply, I'm just going to change here this text. Also, let's click on here this image. Let's choose image, and I'm just going to choose here this one. And as you can see, now it's totally changed. All right, so for this button, as you can see, it's also not changed, right? So what you can do, you can simply just copy here and simply just paste it and delete this previous one. Then the previous one will be gone, as you can see. So let's follow the same thing and let's delete it. And as you can see, we get the exactly same to same. Also, let's change here this content. So to change this content, simply click on here this website optimization, this text. And now let's change here this text into strategic planning. And now let's click on here this icon, choose image. And now let's select this icon. Okay, let's select it. And let's again go to the navigator. So to open the navigator, click mouse right button, then you'll get to see the navigator icon in here. Or you can just go with from here, this navigator. All right, so let's go back again here. And let's go back, and this is the last one, as you can see. So what I need to do, I need 3 more. So what I can do, I can simply just duplicate it. Duplicate 1, duplicate 2, and I'm just going to duplicate 3. As you can see, I get 3 more here. So what I can do, I can simply just change here this icon also. So let's change this icon into, let's say this one. And let's go to the next one. Let's change this icon into, let's say this one. And for this another one, we like to change it to, let's say, I like to go with this one, let's say AC1. All right, so now as you can see, now it's almost changed, right? So now let's change this content. So as you can see, now this image and text almost change. And for this content, I think you already know that it's very simple to change. You can just type here whatever you like to show your user. You can easily just type here, then it will be update automatically. Okay, so now we just need to do the final things, that is about, if you see carefully, that on our demo website it was having a background elements of this section. So let's click on here this parent, this section or container. Let's go here this style. So now let's click on here this choose image, this button again, and let's click on upload image. And now let's select the file. And for this now, I'm just going to select here lips shape image 11, this one. Let me open it. And let's select it. And as you can see, this is now visible on this right side, but we need to keep it left side, right? So let's center and left. Let's make it center left, and this image will become into center left, as you can see. But for this image, we are not going to keep it stick, like fixed. Right now it's fixed, as you can see. On this section is totally fixed. But if you like to make it a default, then it will be default like this. So I like to keep it like this. So let's click on update. Now let's move into the next section called why choose as this section. And if you see carefully that this section is also matched with our like about us section. So what you can do, you can simply just copy and paste, right? So let me just simply copy and let's scroll down and let's simply paste it. As you can see, we get exactly same to same, but for these padding, like if you go with this advanced tab, everything is almost 0 in here. But for the padding, I like to change it. So let's click on unlink. And now let's say for the padding top, I like to go with 100. As you can see, everything is taken now 100, but I don't like to keep. So let's click on unlink. And for this right, I like to go with only 30. So let's say 30. And for this left, I like to go with 30. So yeah, that's it. Now what you need to do, we need to just simply rearrange it. Let's click on navigator. And now we can simply just this container drag into the top. As you can see, then it will be changed. Or let's say this container, I like to keep it in the bottom. So as you can see, this will be changed, something like very simply it will be changed. Okay, so as you can see, now it's changed. Or if you cannot change it, then go to the parent container and let's change this order into start. Or okay, so since we are using container, so we don't need to change this order. We need to go to the layout, and for here we can change this direction. Let's say I just change it to reverse, then it will be changed into reverse. So this is the another way if you like to change this, if you like to rearrange it. And for here we don't really need this section, right? So let's click on delete, and also let's delete here this, as you can see. So let's change here this image, click on here this pen icon, and let's choose the image, and let's upload image, and let's select image. And I'm just going to upload here this why choose as this image. Let's open it. All right, so as you can see, we get exactly same to same. So now let me change here this content. So let's weird digital explorer, so let's change it to this one. And also we can change this content to, let's say, this one, why choose as. And this is very simple to change. I'm not showing you how to do that. Simply click on pen icon, and now we can just simply copy and paste the content. Or if you like to write something, then simply just write it down here automatically.